From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate. Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Modi government has buckled under the pressure of IndiGo Airlines. It's absolutely shocking. At 9 o'clock tonight, why airlines are not complying with pro-pilot regulations and whether the Modi government and the DGCA has rolled back, compromising in the process passenger safety. Ladies and gentlemen, monopolies are bad, but the Modi government seems to be very comfortable with monopolies and duopolies, and that's very bad. Very bad. Ladies and gentlemen, the Director General of Civil Aviation, the very regulator tasked with protecting the lives of millions of air passengers, has given into pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, given into pressure from corporate behemoths. Yes, you heard me right. The DGCA has withdrawn its own instructions that barred airlines from substituting weekly rest with leave for pilots. All because the airlines complained about operational disruptions. In other words, the government of India has lost and private airlines have won. And this is all happening because two airlines together control 91% of domestic aviation. Ladies and gentlemen, two airlines, 91% market share, and they are pre-planning disruptions. I have on record the statement of the IndiGo CEO, who has said quite clearly that the so-called cancellations of IndiGo Airlines planes was pre-planned, which means in a pre-planned way without informing passengers, they decided to cancel airlines. In other words, IndiGo planned and conspired to put India's aviation sector to a standstill for the last 2 days. Hear this.
Cancellations were made for today as to align our crew and planes to be where they need to start afresh tomorrow morning. Cancellations were made for today as to align our crew and planes to be where they need to start afresh.
Which means, ladies and gentlemen, passengers are eating and sleeping at airports. 1,000 flights have been cancelled. Look at the visuals now. Complete and absolute chaos across the entire country. Full frame visuals, ladies and gentlemen. People desperate, people angry, people protesting. And these are the kind of scenes we've seen across airports in India. The Civil Aviation Minister in the Modi government is nowhere to be seen. The Ministry of Civil Aviation controls the Director General Civil Aviation, the Airports Authority of India, Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, every institution responsible for ensuring passenger safety. And at this point of time, ladies and gentlemen, the Civil Aviation Minister is nowhere to be seen. The responsibility is his, the oversight is his, it is of the Modi government, and nothing. Absolutely, there is no respite for the passengers. In the middle of this, the government must be aware of the profit-making blackmail machinery, which is at its most exploitative. Delhi to Chennai, the cheapest flight was priced at 82,000. I'm not naming the airline. Mumbai to Delhi, 50,000. Mumbai to Chennai, 60,000. Chennai to Ahmedabad, 57,600. 2-hour flight on Akasa, 40,000. SpiceJet inflates prices to 75,000 to 80,000. Airports, and not just airports, hotels around airports are charging 2x, 3x, 4x their regular price to accommodate the stranded passengers. This is so grotesque. Ladies and gentlemen, citizens are trapped, and the profit-making blackmail industry is at its peak. All for corporate gains. I think the government must understand and take some responsibility for what's going on. When an airline collapses, a city's hotel market should not turn into a ransom economy. That is what Aero City near Delhi airport has become. 3-star hotels are charging 40,000 rupees a night. This is a profit blackmail economy. The government must step in. There is no accountability. The growing sense is that there is no accountability in the aviation sector. Even after the Air India Boeing 787 crash, the Indian government did not put either Boeing or Air India or the Tatas to account. 6 months down, what really has been done? Air India was under the scanner for flouting rules 2 days back. They put out a templated statement and they get away. There's a feeling I get tonight that the Modi government is okay with this situation, which is even more dangerous. Is the Modi government happy with the monopoly and duopoly situation? Is this part of the policy of the Modi government? If it is, we need full disclosure. Accordingly, we'll respond. Let's debate.
The government has failed its citizens.
Down, down. 3 hours. 3 hours. 3 hours. 3 hours. Sir, between 4:15. Yeah. 5, 6, 7:15. The flight has to departure. If it doesn't departure, what to do?
पब्लिक को रोक रहे हो आप। इंडिगो से कुछ खा के मिले हुए हो क्या आप लोग? ऐसा लगता है इंडिगो ने आपको ब्राइब किया है सबको। Tell them to put more counters.
And the crisis only deepens. DGCA erased its own safety shield, the rule that no leave shall be substituted for weekly rest. A rule meant to keep pilots alert, scrapped because airlines demanded operational flexibility. This isn't regulation, it's capitulation. IndiGo demands, DGCA caves in. And passengers and pilots left to bear the consequences. The politics is brewing, with LOP Rahul Gandhi blaming the government's monopoly model. And the outrage isn't just over delays and cancellations. It's over rising fares, vanishing safeguards, and a system designed to protect the powerful first.
सरकार जो है ना, ये कैपिटलिस्ट की सरकार है, ये पैसे वालों की सरकार है। ये कहने के लिए उड़ान बिड़ान कहेंगे, लेकिन उड़ने नहीं देंगे आपको। नाम उड़ान है, उड़ना नहीं है। आप सोचिए, इवन मिडिल क्लास का आदमी भी 66,000 रुपए की टिकट लेकर जाएगा। आप सोचिए, तो लूटमार है ना।
But the government insists that the worst is over. Yet the bigger questions remain unanswered. If flight safety norms can be rewritten overnight, if airlines can override fatigue rule, if IndiGo and Air India remain untouchable, then how long before this crisis becomes the new normal?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have Deepak Reddy of the TDP with me this evening. I have Kishore Subramaniam and I have PK Basu with us this evening. I also have with us Faizan Kidwai of the Samajwadi Party, Priyanka Kakkar of the Aam Aadmi Party. And I want to begin by saying that it's a terrible situation. And the government doesn't seem to be as concerned about it as it should be. And the government has given in to IndiGo and withdrawn the rule that barred airlines from substituting weekly rest with leave, which means the government of India has rolled back because of pressure from IndiGo, which refused to comply. Which means IndiGo has exerted its market and monopoly situation. And IndiGo Airlines, a near monopoly airline, has forced the government to back off. This is my reading of the situation. Kishore, I want you to open the debate because the government has given in to the pressure of a duopoly.
Good evening to my panelists and good evening, Arnab. But let me be very clear. The government has no choice here but to give in. Understand that as of today, the CEO of IndiGo has announced that there are 1,000 plus plane cancellations. So if you stick on to the labor rule, having accepted that IndiGo is at fault for not having its plan of action ready, there is a high-level committee formed. There is a 24/7 monitoring system regulated. By tonight, it should get all right. Though practically, I don't think so. It will get all right. It will take a couple of days. But the government has no choice but to cave in. Now, when you come to the point of duopoly, that has nothing to do with the government. The government can't run airlines. If you say that we have got to bring the socialist system back where the government needs to run all the airlines, that's not going to happen. The cost of flying an airline, keeping it afloat, is a business call. And unfortunately, IndiGo did not comply. Yes, I can accept one major point that when this regulation of the labor coding was given about 2 years back and they were asked to comply, there should have been a report taken which would have ensured that IndiGo or any airline does it. Coming to your second point, Arnab, this is very, very important for customers to understand. The fleecing economy part, the moment IndiGo cancels its airlines, Air India, Chennai to Goa, one of my colleagues is flying, she has to pay 1 lakh rupees. And that is fleecing. Government can go hammer and tongs on these airlines and tell them you can't fleece. The peripheral economy, I don't think so the government has any control.
Take
if you
these
ask,
graphics,
I'm running a hotel around an airport and I increase my charges,
graphics, sir.
I don't think so the government has any control on me.
Graphics.
I'll tell you. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Goswami.
Okay, we get Faizan in, please. Yeah, Faizan.
Right. Good evening, Mr. Goswami. First of all, congratulations to you, sir. You're hitting the nail on the head. You're asking tough questions. To whom this question should be asked? My voice is echoing, sir. Could you just please?
I can hear you loud and clear. Please continue.
Okay. So, Mr. Goswami, the gentleman sitting here, the one who backs the government, he said things will get sorted out in a few days, sir. There are experts who are saying that things won't get sorted out before February 26. So, a lot of passengers are going to suffer till February 26. So kindly don't mislead the people. And before I go ahead and
I'm only quoting
I didn't speak while you were speaking, sir. Kindly grant me the same courtesy, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Mr. Goswami, for your viewers, I just want to put this data so that people can understand why things are happening the way they are happening. See, between 2019 and 23, Bharatiya Janata Party got 6,060 crores as electoral bonds. And you know, they got around 56 crore from aviation sector companies. And do you know which airlines gave the maximum funds to Bharatiya Janata Party? It was IndiGo through its parent organization, Interglobe Entities. They gave Bharatiya Janata Party 11 crores just in 2019. That's the reason Bharatiya Janata Party is favoring IndiGo and Air India as of now. See, Mr. Goswami, the way IndiGo's OTP, that is on-time performance record, is crashing, it is at par with the speed that the value of rupee is depreciating to the dollar. It has come down 30% in just last 3 days. This isn't only exposes IndiGo's operational failures, it also exposes Mr. Narendra Modi's pro-capital priorities, where passenger safety they have put at the back burner to please the powerful aviation lobby. Mr. Goswami, further, you should know that the pilots were demanding for these new rules since 2019, but Modi government didn't care. Suddenly, in hasty manner, these new rules were implemented. IndiGo's software, as per some records, is glitching. This rush to roll out and lack of preparedness has triggered this chaos all over India. The pro-airlines lobby government of Mr. Narendra Modi then finally makes a U-turn to please IndiGo. The DGCA grants IndiGo secretly a one-time exemption for night duty limits. This has left, Mr. Goswami, the lives of the passengers at risk. For them, they are collateral damage in this unholy BJP corporate nexus. And Mr. Narendra Modi's government has not done this for the first time. Mr. Goswami, sir, just let me complete, sir. Sir, let me complete. You can rebut later on. I am not giving wrong information. Let me complete. Sir, hold your horses, sir. Sir, don't get so rattled because Mr. Arnab Goswami is going to ask you tough questions. the people of India. So don't do this shamelessly.
This is a government,
You are
let me
playing with the
finish
lives
answers.
of ordinary citizens,
No, no, if it
and
was
we as
Samajwadi
Samajwadi Party or
remember that
opposition
the
members
citizens would have been going
forget
in
me
cycles
and
and
my
not in
ideology or my political leaning right now. I am a citizen. It has happened with me, Mr. Goswami. I'll put this on record. Few months back, I was traveling Air India, and the flight which I was supposed to take, the moment it landed, the engine failed. And suppose if this thing had happened while midair,
this is
I
not
would have
about
been here
that,
sitting
you
here
are
today in
going
front of
about
you.
codification
So
of the
this
No,
is
I
the
think,
level of preparedness. This is what
I
the
think I
kind
would
of
like to bring in
maintenance the Indian
Deepak
Airlines
Reddy
is
also
doing.
and PK
the
Basu.
government is giving it a free hand.
No, I think the government is looking weak.
It's weak.
Because the government has rolled back key provisions of the DGCA's revised flight duty time limitations. Now, why were these FDTL rules brought in? It was brought in to provide passenger safety as paramount. Now, corporate interest has become more important than passenger safety. Deepak Reddy, there is a growing feeling also that you are from the TDP, that the government can't touch the civil aviation minister because the minister is from the TDP. Where is the minister? Is he at any airport? Is he talking to any passenger? No. We are told today on the 4th day of the crisis, he has been spoken to by the Home Minister. Who does he represent? Which lobby does he represent? He's certainly not with the people. Tomorrow, God forbid, should there be, a safety situation, will he take responsibility? You have softened the rules on the airlines. You wanted the rules to protect the interests of the passengers. But today has the government, by diluting the pro-pilot regulations, not effectively agreed to compromise passenger safety? Deepak Reddy and Priyanka Kakkar. Deepak Reddy.
Arnab, you are, in my opinion, one of India's finest journalists. But we have to be a little objective when we cast aspersions on the government or on the minister. So it's my duty to say what is actually going on. The Prime Minister's office is actually monitoring the situation. Our minister, Lokesh Ji, is also monitoring the situation. An emergency war room has been set up, and the aviation.
But your minister is not the Minister for Civil Aviation.
One second.
No, Nara Lokesh is not the Minister for Civil Aviation. In what capacity is he monitoring the situation? May I ask, how is a minister in the state government monitoring the nationwide situation on civil aviation? In what capacity?
Arnab, just give me 1 minute.
No, in what capacity is Nara Lokesh overseeing the India civil aviation sector? May I ask you?
I'm coming to that. Number one, the Prime Minister's office is monitoring it. Number two, an emergency war room has been set up where the aviation minister is now sitting in it and monitoring it 24/7. From our party's side, Nara Lokesh Ji is also monitoring the situation to get it normalized.
But how is your party involved in this?
It's not the question of a party here. It's not the question of politics here. It's the question of the plight of the people. And
No, but I don't understand. Is the Civil Aviation Ministry or TDP Ministry?
He is sitting in the war room. A war room has been set up. 24/7, he's on the field. A committee has been set up to inquire why the situation has come in the first place. And now
the committee has been set up now after IndiGo Airlines has failed to comply, rather refused to comply.
That is a private company, and private companies do their business the way they do, and government doesn't run a private company. We have to be a little,
Sir, the government has been blackmailed by a private company.
Exactly. So here
the government of India has been blackmailed by a private company.
Yeah. The issue here is a failure of a private company, and how efficient and how sincere the government is taking action. These are two different things. So I'm here to say what is the action that is being taken by the government, and then we can come to the private company's issue. So a war room is set up. A committee is now also constituted to look into this, and a one-time exemption, a regulatory lightning speed relief has been given to normalize. The priority here is to take care of the passengers' interests, to take care of, to get the system restarted, to end the logjam. to get the situation normalized, and people's convenience is
So the
what we are
passengers have become cannon fodder. The passengers are cannon fodder in this battle.
Yeah, so what do we do? Now
So what do we do? We don't let a duopoly take the, I mean, what do you are an elected government, you are asking me what do we do?
That is what I'm saying. So
You must not give in to a private company.
Their hands on. The priority one is to normalize the situation, is to take care of the situation, normalize it, and then we will see to that why a situation like this has arisen, and it is going to be monitored by the hour. And you know, this is going, I mean, such kind of things are not going to repeat in the future. And that is the...
I'm not sure what's going on here.
In fact, the minister has also put on record that he's been, licensing with this particular airlines for the last 6 months.
Sir, the minister has done nothing. You know that within hours of the Pahalgam terrorist attack, domestic flights out of Srinagar, the fares skyrocketed. Victims of a terrorist attack became contributors to airline profits, and we are all expected to keep hearing from you that the minister will do something. The minister is doing nothing. The Modi government is comfortable with a duopoly. There's a duopoly happening. There's a monopoly happening. This is bad for India. We are not South Korea. I would like to bring in Priyanka Kakkar on a very dangerous situation indeed. Priyanka.
Arnab, I have one simple question, that the extension that has been now granted to IndiGo, and if any accident happens in this extension period that has been granted, compromising passenger safety, will the Besharam Aviation Minister then resign? Have you seen any accountability set when the Air India crash happened? Sir, I did not speak. I did not speak while you were speaking. You can object once after I'm done. You can object once I object to your objecting while I'm speaking, sir.
Sir, but it is not right to play politics. It is not right to play politics when the people of India are suffering.
Arnab, you will have to interfere.
Politics.
I think Deepak, let her give her point of view. The tempers are high on all sides, and naturally we cannot expect even political leaders to be too calm about what's going on today. Yes, please, Priyanka, please continue.
So my first question is, will this gentleman sitting here and the aviation minister from the TDP then assume some accountability that the extension you have now given to IndiGo might interject with my safety when I fly IndiGo? Is that possible? I also take it from what the SAPA spokesperson said. He said that some 56 crores were given in 2019. I think at that time that must be given because the DGCA was not even on its website discussing the engine failures that were repeatedly happening with IndiGo. The A320 fleet, there was a petition in the High Court to ground the entire A320 fleet, which was not airworthy, which was not compliant to fly our passengers. But this government continued, and I'm saying, why should I not even question the Modi government? Why should I not question the BJP? Why should I not question Modi ji? Because had the passenger flights today been tickets today been 2,000 rupee per ticket, आप लोग सब मोदी जी की वाहवाही कर रहे होते. And I'm glad that there is no monopoly in the media. Imagine if there were only two channels. If there were only two channels, they will be suppressing all of that the Republic is showing today. So I'm very glad there is no.
But it's also, I want to point out here, it's so easy for some channels, you know, who are running advertising for these private airlines to stop questioning them, because just note one thing, which network today, which major network besides Republic is making a big deal of it? The question is that somewhere the government is making a mistake. We were told here, Savio and Santosh Mehrotra, that the Modi government does not allow duopoly or monopoly. However, Savio, the aviation sector was liberalized decades ago to encourage competition. There are no anti-monopoly safeguards implemented. The government of India, the Modi government, has allowed IndiGo and Air India to consolidate routes, capture hub dominance, absorb competitors. Effectively, they control 100%. They can do what they want.
Yeah, Arnab, to be very brutally honest, and while I appreciate what you're doing, and you should be raising the issue, I think many people talking on the show at this point of time, and I have a little bit of experience reporting in the aviation space in my earlier part of my career, I can tell you India does not understand the aviation business, and that's why many people today don't invest into the aviation business. And while you're at it, let's look at the 4 problems that are there. The first problem, government responsibility. Has the government failed? The answer is yes and no. Of the airlines' responsibility, have the airlines failed? The answer is yes, including the ones who have raised the prices at this point of time and are fleecing the consumers. The aviation business is a tricky business. That's why some of the best of people who put in money into aviation have walked out. It's not an easy business to do. And that's the reality. But where the real problem stems is an inability of the government at this point of time, when they did bring in a good rule, putting the interest of the people in mind in pilot safety, they did not at that point of time counter-check whether the airlines were falling in line, and which IndiGo should have done, and that's the error of the government. But right now we are in a crisis. And in a crisis situation, the most important thing of the crisis is what is the pain point of the crisis. And the pain point of the crisis are the people. And therefore, in hindsight, everything that the government would have done to lead to it does have mistakes. And I'm not denying
No, but does the government not see that the passengers are in agony? Does the government not preempt this?
Allah, that's what the government is trying to do.
Trying to do how? But tell me one thing, Savio. The government has told IndiGo to comply months back. IndiGo at the last minute has created a crisis and put pressure on the government. Immediately the government is buckled in. What kind of management is this?
I agree with you, Arnab.
How is the government fulfilling its responsibilities?
I agree with you, Arnab, that the government should have been far stricter.
Was the government strict with Air India after the crash? Was the government strict with Boeing after the crash? Did the parliamentary panel give Boeing a clean chit?
Right now we are in a crisis situation. The crisis created...
It's an artificial crisis created by a private company to blackmail the government of 1.4 billion people, and the government has been blackmailed.
Agreed. But what is the end of it? What are we supposed to do? We're
supposed to put these private companies in their place.
Yes, but right now we have to take care of the consumers.
Right now, this is the only thing we have to take. There is no other choice.
There is no doubt. But shouldn't the consumers come first?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you are saying that. You're saying that, okay, we are in a crisis. Santosh Mehrotra, the argument being put is...
What is the situation? The pain point is with the consumers. Shouldn't we address that first and then deal with the airlines? Yes, it is led to it. We failed as a government.
I'm sorry, but everybody is shooting off the consumer. The government is saying because of the consumer, I'm being blackmailed by DGCA, by IndiGo. Because of the consumer, I'm giving in to the duopoly. The airlines are saying the airlines are using the consumer to blackmail the government. I'm sorry, I don't think the government has done a good job on civil aviation. It's done a terrible job. Santosh Mehrotra, how do you view this ongoing situation in terms of broader themes that come up, along with PK Basu? Dr. Santosh Mehrotra.
The broader theme that comes up is twofold. First of all, you need to be congratulated for bringing it up in as thoroughgoing a manner as you have been doing. But I think we should stop pussyfooting around this subject. Enough is enough. I mean, first of all, the Indian state has demonstrated beyond a shadow of doubt its own incapacity to handle big business. Big corporates. Okay, cronyism exists in different parts of the world. We have gone quite crazy with allowed our cronyism to take over our government. But even in China, the cronyism can be controlled. What happened to Alibaba? But what have we allowed our aviation sector to become? A duopoly. Why has it been allowed to become a duopoly? Who was overseeing this over the last 10 years? It has become a duopoly. Do you know how much Air India was sold for 2,000 crores? Can you believe it? The largest airline of this country was sold for 2,000 crores. 40,000 crores worth of its debt has been absorbed by the government of India. That means you, me, PK Basu, who's staring at me rather viciously, all of us are actually paying out of our noses for Air India to buy all those planes and get part of the duopolies for 2,000 crores, just over 2,000, between 2 and 2,500 crores. How do you think this happens? And the fact that we've known about this impending situation for the last 2 years, Arnab, I think
Sir, it was sold for 18,000 crores, not 2,000 crores, please.
Anyway,
we have known about the IndiGo situation building up for the last 2 years. What was the government of India doing over this period? What was the Minister of Aviation doing over this period? I mean, when issues like this arise, they arise because the entire tripartite manner of resolving labor issues and worker issues has been let go of. Why couldn't government, the company, and the workers who were protesting around shouldn't have been brought together? They were not brought together. And we have seen this over and over again. And the manner in which the 4 codes have been implemented, the 4 labor laws have been implemented, you will see turmoil around these 4 labor codes for months to come just now. So, we have to learn to fix this situation. If we don't learn to fix this situation, then our passengers will continue to suffer in the way.
So the question tonight in the context of this is, PK, are the corporates running the government or are the government running the corporates? PK, have corporates become disproportionately powerful in this government? Have corporates become disproportionately powerful in Modi government?
absolutely not. The purpose of a government is not to be a my-baap. You see, Santosh Mehrotra and other socialists believe in a my-baap government, where everything in the country is controlled by the government. So we had a situation for 60 years where Air India and Indian Airlines had a monopoly in international domestic flights. And we remember, those of us who are a little bit older, remember how we had to wait for days, sometimes 12, 24, 48 hours for flights to take off. So now the point is that we now have a competitive market, and in that competitive
How is it a competitive market?
Let me
How is it a competitive market with 1 minute? PK,
Look,
1 minute. 92% of India's aviation is controlled by Air India and IndiGo. How is it a competitive market?
I will answer that.
Santosh, you muted yourself. Santosh Mehrotra, you muted yourself.
Yeah, so...
No, you're absolutely right, Arnab.
Unfortunately, it has become close to a duopoly, partly because Go Air, for instance, you look at Go Air, look at Sahara, several airlines have collapsed because they grew too rapidly, did not control themselves. And similarly, I mean, this is a problem of...
But when Air India asks the government for a bailout, it's okay. But when Vijay Mallya asked the Congress government for a bailout, the BJP called it a scam. But when Tata owned Air India asked the government for a bailout, it's okay. But when Vijay Mallya asked Manmohan Singh for a bailout, it was a scam. I mean, what is the government doing?
What are you saying?
I am saying the right thing.
Not asked for any bailout. Tata bought Air India just...
No. A few days back, Tata went and made a presentation to the government saying we lost 4,000 crores because of Operation Sindoor. Kindly bail us out. And the government later did a meeting in the PMO on the subject.
Look,
are the corporates beginning to control the government of India?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We have...
Yes, they are.
We have a free market economy where the my-baap...
Sir, if it's a free market economy, then tell me... 1 minute. Let me ask you one thing. If it's a free market economy... 1 minute. Just 1 minute. 1 minute. Where is the free market economy? Where is the free market economy?
For 50 years, the Air India was being bailed out every year. Every year, we, the taxpayers, were paying for Air India to survive. Now that situation has changed. It cannot be, you're not going to change everything on a dime. It'll take a while for the thing to stabilize. Right now, we are dealing with a situation where IndiGo has completely collapsed over the last two or 3 days, and
IndiGo has not collapsed.
Yes.
You are wrong. IndiGo, I'm getting in Faizan right now, and Priyanka, for your kind information, IndiGo has not collapsed. IndiGo has told the government it will not comply, and the government has changed the rules to support IndiGo. IndiGo has in a planned manner pulled back the airlines. It has not collapsed. It's the government which has collapsed.
It is temporary. First of all, it's temporary. This change that has been brought.
Okay, if Vijay Mallya had done this, sorry. If Vijay Mallya had done this and Manmohan Singh had been the Prime Minister, would you have been as tolerant?
Of what?
Of what?
The simple fact is that IndiGo is a highly profitable airline, and
which is refusing to comply with the norms.
But it must comply. Of course, it will comply.
It will not comply.
It will be made to comply.
The government is backed off.
But it is only backed off for a 2-month period to stabilize things.
My God, a government of 1.5 billion people is made to back off by an airline.
And the long-term issues, including...
I'm sorry, but this is very serious. You seem completely comfortable. You seem completely comfortable with a government of 1.4 billion people backing off to a private airline. It's an unheard of situation. Faizan.
You want more chaos? Do you want more chaos over the next two or three weeks?
Sir, you were constantly...
Right now,
sir, I have a few questions for you. I hope you would answer them.
Can travel. But those... You see, the point is, if you have emergency travel, you're going to be, unfortunately, facing
at least when Mr. Goswami was saying...
pricing is exactly like this. It works everywhere. Everywhere in the world works the same way. If you don't like the market, are you going to replace it with state diktat?
Okay, so the thing is, I hope you're done. So the thing is, so the way things are happening and the things are shaping up, it's not only us, it's not only Mr. Goswami, it's the people of India who are outraged. They are asking questions because the problem with Modi government is that it favors the corporate so much that people have started to say this is not a government for common people. It's a government which bends to the whims of the rich who fund them. Mr. Modi is no longer somebody people look up to when they want to feel safe in this nation. Mr. Modi is believed to be somebody who favors capitalism over socialism. So if you see closely, NCERT books also have dropped socialism from the full page picture of preamble. This exposes Bharatiya Janata Party. They are certainly giving this message.
Was Amar Singh a socialist? Was Amar Singh a socialist? Was he funding the socialism of Subrata Roy Sahara?
May I, Mr.
No, may I means don't let, was Amar Singh and Akhile and Amar Singh and Mulayam Singh Yadav socialists? Were they socialists?
Yes, of course,
was Subrata Roy Sahara a socialist?
Let's not digress, Mr. Goswami, and to the gentleman from TDP.
Deepak Reddy.
You were very outraged, Mr. Reddy, you were very outraged when the spokesperson of Aam Aadmi Party said Besharam aviation minister, let me rephrase, incompetent aviation minister, and this man should immediately resign. If not, Mr. Narendra Modi should chuck him out and then resign himself. And as far as your one of your leaders, you mentioned some Nara Lokesh, what capacity or what education he has to oversee a civil aviation disaster? Who the hell is he just because he's your party leader's son? So he will play with the lives of innocent
Deepak
Indians?
Reddy.
No, sir, that's not going to happen. So, first of all, I would very sincerely and respectfully request you to go and tell your civil aviation minister to resign immediately. And this is not the first time people have suffered. We know what happened during Air India, the Dreamliner crash. There were US agency, the agency NTSB. It made a remark that it fears that Indian agencies are trying to do a cover-up to shield Air India regarding the maintenance lapses. No heads have rolled so far. Innocent people died. Nobody survived except for one individual who miraculously survived. Then the Tejas aircraft, which has crashed in the Dubai air show. HAL shamelessly says it's an isolated occurrence. How dare HAL does that? There are critics who have pointed out that there was inadequate testing, corruption in defense procurement by your capitalist Modi Sarkar. So this government is playing with the lives of innocent citizens just because it gets funds. Narendra Modi is a weak prime minister. Narendra Modi bends in front of capitalists. And this is so unfortunate. You people should be ashamed of yourself and tender an apology to the citizens, all those people who are stranded at the airports right now. Some of them might be going to meet a sick relative or going to get a surgery done. You people have jeopardized the lives of innocent people because Modi wants funds. Modi got 56 crores as electoral bonds, and IndiGo, it's on record, it has paid 11 crores just in 2019 through interglobe entities. You people, I understand, sir. It is so unfortunate. You should ask Chandrababu Naidu to immediately withdraw the support. If he has an iota of shame, if has an iota of love and respect for this great nation, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu should resign with immediate effect. And Mr. Modi, I can't expect this from Mr. Modi because he's a hater of Constitution. He's somebody.
If you could stop now. If you could stop now. See, when so Amar Singh is questioned with Subrata Rai, you say you don't digress. But when you talk about electoral bonds in an IndiGo crisis, you are not digressing.
This is related. Electoral bonds are related here, sir. Paisa mil raha hai. Narendra Modi government is getting funds from electoral bonds from IndiGo. No, hold on. People of India are held up at the airports. What do you mean, hold on? My citizens, people of my country are suffering because of this incompetent government of Narendra Modi. And you people used to just come here to shamelessly defend this government.
1 minute. Kishore.
And apologize. That's all you can do.
Kishore. In this case, people are beginning to ask a lot of questions. Has the government sort of gone soft on Air India as well? Because it's been 6 months since the crash. There are 51 safety lapses of Air India, including training gaps, rostering issues, non-compliance with regulations. We get no feeling that Air India is accountable.
Okay, Arnab, let me answer. Please give me the patience of a couple of minutes. Point number 1. We are at a crisis where thousands of flights are getting cancelled. So the primary job of the government...
Sir, we are not in a crisis, Kishore. The crisis has been artificially created by IndiGo to teach DGCA a lesson.
No. Arnab, aspiration like this, that it has been artificially created. IndiGo mismanaged it. Government should have audited it.
IndiGo did not mismanage. IndiGo refused to comply with the norms and said, we want more time. Otherwise, the crisis will continue. The government had to buckle in because of public pressure.
Yeah, Arnab, today the crisis is, if the government says the norm has to continue, then you are going to see 10,000 more flights in the next 10-15 days, and that's going to be chaos. So to stop that, that has to be the first step. Point number 2, has the government failed in auditing IndiGo when the rules were allowed? Yes, the government has failed. But
yes, the government did ask IndiGo. The government communicated to IndiGo.
Yeah, government did communicate. But let's understand today what's in hand we have to solve and then go into investigation. There is a high-level committee formed. There is a 24-hour monitoring system available. They are trying to restore the normalcy of the flights in the next 2 days. So remember, this crisis is important. But let me tell you one thing. The Samajwadi spokesperson who said that socialism led to bankruptcy in this country, let's not even talk about that. Having said that, let's not mix issues and not make a khichdi out of it.
Socialism is important for this country, but I don't want to digress. So I won't interject you on this point, but you should remember, Narendra Modi's governance is a curse for this great nation.
If Samajwadi was there, we would have been going in cycle.
This man is favoring only corporates, because of which the entire nation is suffering. His greed, his lust for power, his greed and lust for money, he is doing this at the cost of innocent Indians. Narendra Modi should be ashamed of himself, and somebody like you, sir, with due respect to you, sir, you should be ashamed of yourself to be sitting here and defending the government. You should be sitting here and apologizing on behalf of the government, and you should keep quiet. You should keep quiet with a placard that I am ashamed of myself that I have ever supported Narendra Modi. He is playing with the lives of innocent
Callers
Indians.
tonight, Raman Agarwal is calling in from Delhi. Raman, hi. Raman, hi. Raman?
Hi. Can you hear me, Arnab?
I can, Raman. What do you think?
I have three very important points to make, Arnab.
Yeah,
Number one, in all this incident, I haven't heard the government punish IndiGo by even a single rupee penalty.
No.
There is no action announced till now against IndiGo. Number two, if passengers are made to pay out of their nose for this hiked fares, why should they pay? It should be IndiGo or the government who should pay for this. Number three, I think we need to sit and ponder over one important question. Is it fair to have a foreign citizen as the CEO of an important...
Is it fair to have a foreign citizen as the CEO of Indian or at least India-based airlines? It's a relevant question. Ramanji, thank you very much. Priyanka, I want to take that. You know, the issue is getting fairly intense. Multiple questions are now being asked. A hard taskmaster is required for the civil aviation sector, and the minister has clearly failed. However, Deepak, there is no accountability of the minister because he is from an important ally, the TDP.
Arnab, there is one more thing I want to bring to your notice, that BJP is absent from all these debates.
I need to come in here. Arnab, you know, there's lot that has been said so far. So I also need to put forward, you know, the facts to clarify to the people of India. I mean, it's not really fair to fall into the trap of the Shakuni Mamas of the India ecosystem. Yes, there is a problem, and we accept that there is a problem. But what are they saying? That you don't rectify the situation and we don't give in to the airlines, then you want the people of India to suffer? Already 5 lakh people are stranded.
Will they not suffer flying these unsafe, following this unsafe protocol?
We want to normalize the situation.
Are you ensuring safety following these unsafe protocols?
That stringent action would be taken. A committee is set up to review why this thing has occurred.
This is a time-buying tactic, sir. Having a committee in India is a time-buying tactic.
How it is being monitored. It is not fair to play politics now. You can see the gentleman earlier. He said that we need to withdraw support. I mean, is it time to play such cheap politics?
Faizan.
This isn't the Shakuni Mama's kind of a trick. Can you people give one constructive suggestion rather than trying to play politics? Can you give one constructive suggestion? So far, you haven't done anything other than blaming.
Louder for Priyanka.
Is consumer safety not important for BJP? Why are they absent from all these debates?
Now, this is something that the people of India should understand.
Sir, you are the allied partner of a party which said Hawai chappal wale bhi Hawai jahaj mein travel karenge, and this is what you brought to. Politics is connected with everything, sir. People should realize from this incident that politics, everyone should be affected by politics. Everything in this country is connected with politics. What you are seeing today is because there is not enough politics on the fact that it is chronic capitalism that we are promoting in India.
How do you propose to normalize the situation? How do you propose to normalize the situation rather than coming up with 100 excuses?
Not by buckling under pressure. Not by buckling under pressure.
Can one constructive suggestion be given by members of the India ecosystem? We accept this as a problem, and the government is 24/7 behind it. The minister is sitting in the war room and addressing the issue by the minute. This has to be appreciated.
Sir, there should be diktats from the government to tell Adani also to make sure that people are taken care of who are stranded at the airport. People are angry right now.
It would be done. In the most efficient manner, it is going to be done.
When 4 days have passed, when will it be done? The aviation minister finally tweets.
A regulatory decision has been taken at lightning speed. I don't think any government would be taking a decision.
Your decisions are bad. You roll back your decisions.
We want to stand with the people of India so that they don't suffer.
Our next caller is Subhash Bundela calling from Nashik. Mr. Bundela.
Yeah, Arnab, how are you?
Very well, sir.
Arnab, one small question I have for you and Savio. Be honest about this as usual, as always. Arnab, you think that without the government's consent or without the government being party, or if the government decides not to let any wrong happen in this country, do you think that something can go this level wrong? There is, Arnab, you know how Sonia Gandhi was getting payoffs from Kingfisher, getting upgrades from the Kingfisher Airlines. unless there is some vested interest of the TDP guy is making noise. His minister is not there on your show to take questions, and he's blasting at Priyanka.
He is giving sound bites to other channels, but the minister says, I will not talk to Republic. Because obviously, Deepak, it's the TDP is behaving like the Congress. We are not a popular channel, I don't care. We'll be popular among the people, not with the TDP. But this is the question is being asked very seriously, Savio. You may want to answer that. Mr. Bundela's point.
You see, we can get into an introspection on what everything has gone wrong. And I agree, as a government, there has been a failure. But I think we are missing the most important point right now, and that's the people. So what is the solution any one of you all is offering to deal with the passengers who do not have the flights to take over right now? That is the crisis.
Wait, that's a lot.
And therefore, if the government
The people did not build a monopoly. The government allowed it.
If we had a national
Arnab, the
airline, that
aviation
would also
business,
help us
Arnab, the
during a time
aviation
of crisis.
business is not an easy business. The aviation business is not an easy business.
Yeah, but the government does not want to be in the aviation business. 1 minute. The government does not want to be in the aviation business. Allow me, Savio. Savio, explain the logic to me. The government says aviation business is non-essential business, but it wants to get into the Uber-Ola business.
Yeah.
It wants to set up a ride-hailing app for taxi drivers. It wants to compete with Rapido, Uber, Ola. Please explain the logic to me, no?
No, Arnab, so are you saying the
No, I don't understand how the taxi business is an essential business for the government to be in.
The government is only providing an app. They're not
Whatever they
providing
may
the
be.
infrastructure of airlines.
But tomorrow, if there is a crisis, God forbid.
I'm saying Sri Charan is calling from Chennai. People are in pain tonight. Sri Charan. People are in real pain.
Yes, Arnab. Thanks for taking this up. And let me make it clear. IndiGo has collapsed. DGCA is sleeping and the aviation system is hanging by the thread. IndiGo cancelled over 1,000 flights. Punctuality has crashed and passengers are stranded. DGCA wakes up after this mess and not before it. If IndiGo didn't have enough pilots, why was DGCA allowing them to schedule so many flights? And this is not a crisis, this is a mismanagement, I feel.
Yeah. Okay, I have 1 more minute. I'll take Prabhat Kumar from Hyderabad. I'm flooded with calls, which means this is a really hot public issue. Look at the numbers out there, people watching this debate. It's sky high tonight, which means there's a lot of public anger. Prabhat Kumar from Hyderabad, what's your voice? What are you saying?
Hi, Arnab. Thank you very much for taking me in. I am Prabhat Kumar calling from Hyderabad. See, people in the panel have actually brought in their own political luggage. They are just only quarreling about their interests in the parties and things which are not really valid in this case. See, the first problem is the DGCA. When an airline has started up, it will give permissions for the routes. They will know how many aircraft have been hired or purchased, and they know what are the flight duty limitations. So from day one, why DGCA could not implement these flight duty limitations without any...
They can do it, Prabhat. I am questioning the central government's policy on monopoly and duopoly.
Yeah, because
why should we not ask this question?
If you don't put tabs on the airlines when they are expanding, monopoly comes in.
Monopoly is a result of market forces. Monopoly has resulted out of market forces.
Result of market forces? You are saying that? You are saying PK, IndiGo does not have money to comply with the rules?
In order to create, so we have a duopoly in the telecom sector. Now the government has intervened and it has put capital into Vodafone to try and create a third player. Now, at the moment we have a duopoly.
Well, the government gave away Air India for 2,000 crore rupees in cash and debt absorption of 18,000, a super sweet deal to the Tatas.
Yes, it was.
Yes,
it was
so government is allowing the big corporates to control everything.
If it was a super sweet deal, others would have bid for it.
By the way, the minister is not in his war room, he is in his home. He has called 2 corporate media reporters to his house. He's at home, probably chilling and watching Netflix. He's not in any war room. Who told you he's in a war room, Deepak? He's sitting at home.
Minister should sit in the
I don't know where you got that from. I don't know where you got that from, but he is on this. He is on it.
On this in his drawing room, ladies and gentlemen, things are bad. And in question tonight is the duopoly in the civil aviation sector. Duopolies and monopolies are bad. Directly or indirectly, the government of India can not allow it. At 9 p.m., why IndiGo managed to push back the government of India.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.